Dear students, good day. Let us start our session with History, Unit 1, Advent of the Europeans. In this session, we are going to learn about kinds of sources of modern India, Portuguese trade interest in India, impact of Portuguese and Dutch presence in India, arrival and settlement of English and French East India companies. Introduction. Many of foreign travelers, traders, missionaries, and civil servants who came to India in the 18th and 19th centuries have left accounts of their experience and their impressions on various parts of the country. To know the events of modern period, we have numerous sources at the international, national, and regional level. Sources of modern India. The sources for the history of modern India help us to know the political, socio-economic, and cultural developments in the country. From the very beginning, the Portuguese, the Dutch, the French, the Danish, and the English recorded their official transactions in India on state papers. Well preserved records are very valuable to know about their relations in India. All these sources must, however, be critically evaluated before they are used for historical writing. Kinds of sources. We can write history with the help of sources like written sources and material sources. Written sources is evidence of written item. Material sources is like paintings, coins, historical buildings, etc. The Europeans came to know about the immense wealth of India from the accounts of Marco Polo. Marco Polo was an explorer and writer who traveled through Asia along the Silk Route between 1271 and 1295. Written sources. Written sources include literatures, travel accounts, diaries, autobiographies, pamphlets, government documents, and manuscripts. Pamphlets means small booklet. Manuscripts means handwritten book or documents. Material sources include paintings and statues, historical building, Indian architecture, the National Museum, and coins. Many paintings and statues are the main sources of modern Indian history. They give us a lot of information on the achievement of national leaders and historical personalities. Historical buildings like St. Francis Church at Cochin, St. Louis Fort at Pondicherry, St. George Fort in Madras, India Gate, Parliament House, President House in New Delhi, etc. are different styles and techniques of Indian architecture. Other objects and materials of religious, cultural, and historical value are collected and preserved in museums. The National Museum in Delhi is the largest museum in India, which was established in 1949. Coins are a good source to know about administrative history. Archives. This is a place where historical documents are preserved. The National Archives of India (NAI) is located in New Delhi. It is a chief storehouse of the records of the Government of India. It has main source of information for understanding past administrative as well as a guide to the present and future generations related to all matters. It contains authentic evidence for knowing the political, social, economic, cultural, and scientific life and activities of the people of India. It is one of the largest archives in Asia. The Madras Record Office, presently known as Tamil Nadu Archives (TNA), is located in Chennai. It is one of the oldest and largest document archives in southern India. The most of the records in the Tamil Nadu archives are in English. Paper currency of RBI. The Reserve Bank of India was formally set up in 1935 and was empowered to issue Government of India notes. The first paper currency issued by RBI in January 1938 was 5 rupee notes bearing the portrait of King George 6. 6.  6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. In ancient time, there was trade and commerce relationship between India and Europe. During Middle Ages, the trade relationship continued between Europe and other Asian countries. Land route between India and Europe. After the capture of Constantinople by the Ottoman Turks in AD 1453, thereby closing the land route to Asia, and it was only land route between India and Europe. So the Europeans forced to find a new sea route to Asia. Portugal. The first European came to India as Portugal. Portugal was the first to discover a sea route to India. Prince Henry of Portugal, who is commonly known as a navigator, encouraged his countrymen to take up the adventurous life of exploring the unknown regions of the world. Bartholomew Dias, a Portuguese sailor, reached the southernmost point of Africa in 1487. He was patronized by the King John II. Vasco da Gama. Vasco da Gama, another Portuguese sailor. He reached Calicut on the east coast of India. By this is successful discovering a new sea route to India. This route continued to be the route of trade between India and Europe for many years. Like this, Portuguese were the first re-established trade between India and Europe. Francisco de Almeida. In 1505, Francisco de Almeida was sent as the first governor for the Portuguese ownership in India. Almeida had the aim of developing the naval power of the Portuguese in India. His policy was known as the Blue Water Policy. Under this policy, they wanted to establish Portugal as a powerful country in the Maritime region. Alfonso de Albuquerque. The real founder of Portuguese power in India was Albuquerque. He carried a battle against the Sultan of Bijapur in 1510 and finally captured Goa. The Portuguese are complete monopoly trade with India for almost a century. Their power was declined with the arrival of English and French in India. The Dutch. The Dutch followed the Portuguese into India. Dutch are from Netherlands. They established United East India Company in 1602 with the aim of doing business with eastern countries. They established the warehouses in Surat, Broj, Cambe, Cochin, Nagapattinam, Masulipattinam, Chinsur, etc. With these, they broke the monopoly of Portuguese in India. After failing to face the competition from English and French, Dutch limited themselves to spice-rich island. The British. On 31st December 1600, Queen Elizabeth issued a royal charter authorizing East India Company to trade with eastern countries for 15 years. The company started the business formally in 1613. The Mughal Emperor Jahangir permitted the English to establish their factory in 1613 at Surat, which initially became the headquarters of the English in Western India. In 1615, Sir Thomas Roe was sent to Jahangir's court by King James I of England. He remained at Agra for 3 years and succeeded in concluding a commercial treaty with the emperor. Before the departure of Sir Thomas Roe, the English had established their trading centers at Surat, Agra, Ahmedabad, and Broj. In 1639, English took Madras, presently called Chennai, from the king of Chandragiri and establishes a strong fort called St. George Fort. King Charles II of England received the island of Bombay as a part of his dowry from the Portuguese king on the event of his marriage with Catherine. In 1668, the East India Company obtained the island at an annual rent of £10 from Charles II. In 1690, the English purchases three villages, namely Suttanavdi, Kalikata, and Govindapur. On the bank of Ugli River, they built Fort William in Kolkata. By 17th century, English had established Bombay, Madras, and Calcutta as the center of the presidency. By the later part of the 18th century, the English made Calcutta as the capital city. They implemented their own civil and criminal procedures court in the area which under their control. The Danish. On March 17, 1616, the King of Denmark, Christian IV, issued a charter and created a Danish East India Company. They established settlement at Tranquebar in Tamil Nadu in 1620 and Serambur in Bengal in 1676. Serambur was their headquarters in India. They failed to strengthen themselves in India and they sold all their settlement in India to the British in the year 1845. The French. The French East India Company was formed in 1664 by Colbert, a minister of King Louis XIV. Caron founded the first French factory in India at Surat. Factory at Masulipatinam, Chandranagar, Mai, Karaikal, Balasur, Kasim Bazar. In 1673, the settlement of Pondicherry was founded by Martin under a grant from Sher Khan Lodi, the ruler of Bijapur. Pondicherry became the most important and prosperous French settlement in India. A fort known as St. Louis was built by Martin in Pondicherry. Dupleix, who arrived in Pondicherry as a governor general of French, had a high ambition of establishing French and its major power in South India. This ambition of Dupleix became the major reason for Carnatic War between the French and English. In this session, we learnt about kinds of sources of modern India, Portuguese trade, impact of Portuguese and Dutch presence in India, arrival and settlement of English and French East India companies. Thank you.